r/AskReddit, what's the most mind-bending fact you've ever learned that made you question everything you thought you knew? Honey doesn't decompose for the same reason that for millions of years, trees didn't either. For millions of years, nothing could break down lignin, the strongest substance in the cell walls of trees, so trees fell and then just laid there. We are still living in the period before any bacteria have developed that can break down honey due to its very low moisture content and its acidic qualities. The amount of sky the JWST took in for its deep field image is equivalent to a grain of rice held at arm's length. That image contains over 5,000 galaxies. Not stars, galaxies. And GT, grain of rice. Grain of sand, link. Whales have vestigial back legs. Bones are still there, just under the skin. Phew, thanks for this. I was having an existential crisis amidst the other quantum physics/universe/consciousness comments, and now I'm just picturing whales with legs. When the moon is at apogee, farthest distance from Earth, all other 7 planets could fit between the Earth and the moon. It's insane to me that the moon is that far away, breaks my brain. Opposite for me. Our solar system consists largely of nothing. The planets take up no meaningful amount of space at all. I had to go do some math. I could not believe this is true, but it checks out. How dare you? Chainsaws were first invented for childbirth. I don't like this fact. The Scottish Highlands are part of the Appalachian Mountains, because the Appalachian Mountains predate the continental drift. This is definitely one that sounds fake but is 100% true. I learned this in a birthing class. I think the teacher was trying to make people feel better about where we are at now, but one mom went a little green at that. Quick question, what the fuck? Were they used to kill the mother or the child? Velociraptors were apparently the size of chickens. Not people size. They still exist, albeit a bit evolved. Ever argued with a goose? More like a turkey. The velociraptors in JP are actually more based on Deinonychus, but they thought the other name was better. Lucky they found the Utahraptor soon after the movies were made. They are about same size as the movie raptors. Great. I am now imagining 10 angry chickens with razor-sharp teeth and claws chasing me and feasting on me while I'm still alive. Just great. Learning that a strawberry isn't technically a berry, but an avocado is. I grew up in the Appalachians. It blew my mind that they have existed since Pangea. Those mountains have seen a lot. Bananas are berries. Animals can be allergic to humans. Had a dog come in with severe allergies. Owners got allergy testing done. Allergic to human dander. Tell me which ones, so I can exact my revenge. Not quite as reality-shattering as some tidbits here, but the lighter was invented before matches. I mean, thinking about it now, lighting alcohol with a flint was an easier concept to acknowledge than sticking phosphorus on a small wooden stick which you then had to strike on a rough piece of surface to ignite. Reminds me of another crazy fact, we went to the moon before we put wheels on luggage. And the egg came before the chicken. Chickens are descendants of dinosaurs who already laid eggs. Sharks are older than trees, the Rocky Mountains, the rings on Saturn, and the North Star. Sharks are also older than the formation of the Atlantic Ocean. That's fiddler crabs have the same ratio of left-clawed crabs as humans have left-handed people. Space stuff will always get me. As will this one that I'll probably mess up, so please someone correct me. If you take 2 super accurate clocks and put one at the airport and one on an airplane that then takes off and flies around the world, when the airplane returns to the airport, its clock will read a different time than the airport one. Time dilation, relativity, gravity, something something Einstein. That was basically how special relativity was proved. With several atomic clocks on different jets and one on the ground. When you lose weight, the mass leaves your body via your breath. Carbon is the most common element in your tissues. This mass is excreted as carbon dioxide in your breath. Hyperventilates. Canned food debuted 50 years before the can opener. I would be more impressed if the reverse was true. If your immune system finds out you have eyes, it will destroy them. Ocular immune privilege. I feel like I'm going to lose my eyes from reading this LMAO. Immune privileged sites include the central nervous system and brain, the eyes, and the testes. It's also not quite if it knows about them it will destroy them. It's more that should they get injured the immune response will be less, so not to cause excessive swelling, etc. Every morning I give my eyes a pep talk about this. You can do it. Stay frosty. Do not give away your position. Evolution must have built that in at the same time as brains, lol. The double slit experiment was the beginning. I started to realize that the universe is more than what we can, and may ever be able to perceive or detect with our senses or tech. That one completely blows my mind. I love that light experiences no time. Even though light travels billions of years to get to us, it experiences the journey as instant, due to its speed. The speed limit of the universe is so interesting. Star Wars has lied to us. Those hyperspace journeys should be instantaneous from the characters' points of view. Forming thoughts boils down to the flow of sodium and potassium ions in your neurons, and making a memory is repeated pulses of sodium and potassium flow. We are basically a bag of organic chemicals with electrochemical flows elegantly keeping us in a state of equilibrium. And if you open another browser to learn more about this, it's even more sodium and potassium flowing in and out of your neurons. How consciousness comes from that completely boggles my mind. 3% of people on death row are innocent. It completely changed my opinion on the death penalty and led me to re-examine a lot of my other beliefs. Given some of the flagrant miscarriages of justice that get published, I'm actually skeptical that it's as low as 3%. My go-to argument was the death penalty will invariably and without exception kill innocent people. GPS satellites have to take into account the fact that time is faster in space due to lower gravity. McDonald's hot coffee lady. I saw the headline when it came out, laughed at the typical Karen/typical litigious Americans, and moved on. Years later I found out the truth, and since then it has changed everything about the way I see all news. Once the thread had been pulled, the whole thing was unraveled and I can't go back to seeing it like before. Freshwater eel blood is more toxic to mammals than most other venoms that exist across the animal kingdom. There is a documentary called Hot Coffee that tells the story. Be skeptical of what you read and of how you think things are. That scientists can now take photographs of molecules. Growing up, that was absolutely never going to happen. Molecules can't be seen, and that was that. That the cult I was raised in, Jehovah's Witnesses, is not the truth and is in fact a cult. Check out jwfacts.com and r/xj for more on this subject. The Stegosaurus was extinct by the time the Tyrannosaurus was living. The T-Rex lived closer in time to us than to the Stegosaurus. Plus, we live closer to the time of the T-Rex than it is closer to the time of the Stego. We are also closer to Cleopatra than she was to the building of the Great Pyramids. When I realized that every cell that make up my children is literally half of me and half of my wife's genetic material, and still they have an autonomous identity and consciousness, and every time my son says that he loves me, it's on the one hand a unique combination of genes, that will never exist again and has never existed before, telling me that it loves me. And on the other hand it's part of me telling me that I love myself. Reno, Nevada is farther west than San Diego, CA. Texlin, Texas is only 4 miles farther from the Canadian border than it is from Brownsville, Texas, as the crow flies. Philadelphia cream cheese is from New York. New York City. Also, I don't know if it's been discovered since I learned this, but we don't know how eels reproduce. Every deck of shuffled cards is unique. That order has probably never happened before and will probably never happen again. Wow, diving into the fascinating world of quantum physics just drove me crazy. Learning about the concept of superposition, where particles can exist in multiple states at once, made me question the very structure of reality. It's like discovering that the universe is a complex dance of probabilities, challenging everything I knew about the certainty of the world around us. Mind officially blown. This sounds like a message the Nome would have left in Outer Wilds. The fact that trauma can actually affect the expression of your genes, epigenetics, mostly for the worst. People with rough childhoods have higher risks of almost everything from heart disease, depression, autoimmune disorders, substance use, even cancer. The shitty thing is there isn't really anything to be done about it as an adult, except to make sure you do not make the same mistake with your kids. Not a huge one, but one I can remember vividly after all these years. When I took my first artificial intelligence class. There was no magic. There was no programming cool cognitive anythings. It was just search. State space, search, search. LOL. It was very early in my CS education, and I grew to love AI quickly. But I remember being so disappointed that most AI was just neat ways to search. I had no idea. We ate tons of freshwater eel growing up, cooked over open flame. It was greasy stuff and very prone to catching fire. Discovered that honey never spoils. Archaeologists found pots of still edible honey in ancient Egyptian tombs. Hello everyone. Thanks for sticking to the end of this video. I really appreciate it. I just wanted to humbly ask you to subscribe to the channel. According to my statistics, 100% of my viewers in the past 28 days are not subscribed. I have always wanted this channel to reach 1000 subscribers, and if you want to support and be a part of that, subscribe. It's free and it's an awesome way to support the channel. Thanks again. Reddit glitch out.